Is working at big companies such as Google, Facebook, or Amazon the pinnacle of your design career? Let's find out in this video. Now, what I noticed in the design community, and it's something which I also thought when I first started out as a designer, is that the very best job opportunity and position that you can ever dream of is going to work in a big city with a big company such as Facebook or all the FAANG companies really, and that would be the pinnacle of your design career. But what I notice is that there's some pros and there's some cons. Now, let me explain. I don't think there's nothing wrong in aiming to work at these big companies. Obviously, the pros is that you're going to have a really good working environment, and you're also going to get really high paid salaries, which are two essential elements for you to be happy in your design career. However, you have to consider a few things. First of all, you have to define your values and also your circumstances. So, for example, when I was in London, I realized that working at a big company for the next decades in that particular city, because that's where all the big opportunities were, wasn't really my cup of tea. Since you would essentially need to do everything that they told you to do each and every time, and you wouldn't diversify your income because that's your only income source, and you always have to work in the office for the very most part, and also following Monday to Friday 9 to 5. So it's a very structured life, which it's absolutely amazing for some people. For me, I want a little bit more freedom actually. So I don't mind working a lot, and I'm actually working more than if I were to have a full-time job in one of those companies, I guess. But the main reason why I'm not a big fan of working in the city is that I like freedom. I like to set my own schedule, set my own times, and also work with a different type of clients. So this is something which you might want to consider when it comes to getting a job in one of those companies. If you have a personality type which values safety before freedom, that's going to be much more in line with actually getting a job which is stable and that essentially gives you security, which is always a good thing to have. But if you value freedom, you're probably not going to be great at working in the office with the regular schedules, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So essentially, if you're one of those persons who value freedom more than security and structure, you're probably going to be more fascinated by ideas of working as a freelancer or owning your own business, or maybe working part-time with clients or being a design consultant. And there's nothing wrong with neither of the two approaches. I noticed that at times the two sides kind of put the wall, and you have maybe the more freedom-oriented people saying, "Oh, I don't want to work in the office. That's like a bad life, and you're just going to be told what to do each and every time." Yada yada yada. And then you have the other individuals who are saying, "Hey, I'm making pretty good money. I have job security. You have no security whatsoever. Your business can crumble at any time," and all of those things. And in my personal opinion, there's no really like right or wrong. I stand more on the right side, but I don't see anything wrong with the left. And I'm not talking political whatsoever here. I'm just referring to these two groups. But my approach is you have to figure out what works for you and then pursue that approach, because you have to, regardless of the type of work that you want to do, you have to be passionate about what you do, and you have to enjoy your work, because guys, you're going to work for the most part of your life. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's kind of pointless. Like, you can make a little bit more money, one side or the other, but money is just going to not be as important if what you're doing for the most part of the day is doesn't really align with what you're actually looking to get out of life. So this is something which is extremely important, and you should consider it. Now, I also want to make a brief note on salary, because a lot of the times people just look at the salary and they see the higher bucks when it comes to a stable job, and especially at the big companies. But you also have to consider that most of the times those big salaries are going to be in the big cities. Big cities are going to be more expensive to live. And I know firsthand, because in London the average salary is higher, but damn, it's bloody expensive to live there, guys. It's really not like, my argument would be that in some other areas in Europe, if you were to work as a freelancer, maybe also in Eastern Europe especially, you can make quite a bit less than you would make in London. And your standards of living, when it comes to pure, seeing like data like the apartments quality and the food quality, your standards of living are going to be higher with less. So you also have to consider that. But of course, you're not living in a big city. You don't have all of the pros of living in a big city. So again, it really comes down to a personal choice. I don't think it's something that you can say, oh, either this is the way to go or this is the way to go. Each and every one has pros and cons, and I really think that you have to figure out which one works best for you. Because regardless of the path that you can take, if you're smart with your money and you don't spend in in excess, you can build up a considerable amount of wealth and stability for yourself and your family with both approaches. The question really is which one is going to be the one which you resonate with the most, and that is going to be most sustainable for you, because you're likely going to do that for decades. So really think through it. And my suggestion would be to try both and then see which path you like the best. I myself, I'm kind of in a hybrid now. So I'm actually having a part-time, almost full-time job, working remotely online. And of course, by doing this, it's almost impossible to find jobs at the top tier companies, meaning that the companies that everybody is looking to get into, such as Google, Apple, Facebook. But that's totally fine with me. I'm personally very happy with the money that I'm making, also the freedom which is associated with that approach. And I also do some freelancing. I used to do a lot of freelancing in the past year, kind of notched down this year specifically when it comes to freelancing, as I'm doing other business ventures. But nonetheless, it's so as you can see, you can also create this hybrid. You can, but at the end of the day, the question is which of the two options is the best one for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, as this motivates me to create more videos for you. And on my YouTube channel, I have over 300 videos on sharing my past 8 years experience as a UI UX designer. So feel free to check it out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.